All right, mathematicians, we're going to be going over your classwork from Friday. This is lesson compare and order numbers. You were asked to complete the even numbers and making sure that you showed your work by stacking your numbers to make those comparisons. So the top sections ask for you to compare using the symbols less than, greater than, or equal to. So for number 2, you have the number 1,323 and the number 1,400. So you were taught to stack the second number directly underneath the first number, making sure that your place values are lined up perfectly. Then we start by pointing at the greatest place value to make the comparison. If they're the same digits, we cross them out and we keep moving to the right until we come to digits that are unlike. Once we've circled the two unlike digits, we are able to put a star next to the greater of the two value of the digits, and that way we know how to put the correct symbol to show the comparison. So for number 2, you should have had a less than, and we read the symbols from left to right like a book. So less than means that it's pointed, meaning it's a smaller side, and the opening is where it's going to go towards the bigger number. Number 4, the same type of work. You can move your second number underneath. Make sure that you line them up perfectly with the place value. And after you have lined them up, you should be able to visually check that one of the numbers has more digits than the other. So if you have if two numbers are not the same amount of digits, the one that has more digits is automatically going to be the larger value. So we should have a greater than symbol. Number 6, once again, you move the second number directly underneath. So it's 200,013. Put the arrow over the largest place value to make the comparison. The largest place value has different digits. We put a star next to the one that is the greater of the two digits. And this one shows that it is a less than symbol because the opening is towards the larger value. Number 8, we do the same work. Move the second number directly underneath, so 980,639, and then we point to the largest digit. They're the same, so then we move to the next place value. They're the same digit, and then we move to the next place value where there is a difference. The 9 compared to the 0, the 9 is larger. We put the star, and then we show the comparison symbol to be greater than. The next section, we are ordering from the least to greatest. So we put this reminder that we're going from small to big. So when we look at our three values, we start by stacking them. So we can stack them to the side. So we had 23,710. The next one is 23,751 and 23,715. When we stack values, we can put them in order once we've done the comparison. So we start with the 10,000 spot. They're all a 2, so we cross them out to say there's no difference. Moving to the thousands place, they're all the digit 3, cross them out. Moving to the hundreds, they're all the digit 7, so we cross them out. When we move to the tens place, we can see that 2 are the same, but 1 is different. So if we go back to the directions to look from smallest to greatest, the one that has the greater value we know is automatically going to be the third number. So I can already put a number 3 next to it, cross it out, place it back in my answer to say 23,751 is going to be the largest. And I put my semicolon to show that I'm going to put my first two numbers here once we determine the smaller of the two. Now we go back to the comparison. They're both 1s, cross them out. Then we go to the 1s place. We have a 0 and we have a 5. The 0 is smaller, so that tells me that's going to be the first number. That's going to be the second value. So we start with the first one, 23,710, semicolon, and then we start with the third one, 23,715. When we make the comparison by stacking, we can correctly order the three values. Number 12 is the same thing, so we put our numbers stacked, so 465,321, 456,321, and then 456,231. So we start with the greater place value. They're all with the digit 4, so we cross them out. The next place value, we have one that has a 6, the other two have 5s. So remembering our directions from smallest to greatest, the 6 is greater than the two 5s. So that tells me this is going to be my larger or my largest number. So I can go ahead and place this last. So 465,321 is last. Cross it out so I don't have to look at it anymore, and I can just compare the final two. So in the 10,000s place, they're both 5, so I'm crossing them out. Moving to the thousands, they both have the digit 6. Cross them out. Now moving to the hundreds place is now different. The 3 is going to be larger than the 2. Because we're looking for smallest to largest, that means the 2 is going to be my first number, which leaves the middle one to be the middle value. So looking back at my answers, I'm going to place 456,231 first with a semicolon. And then my middle number is going to stay to the middle number, 456,321, semicolon. Looking down at number 14, our word problem says an online newspaper had 350,880 visitors. So I'm going to circle my value with the label in October. So this is going to be a month. So I'm going to box it. The next one is 350,489 visitors. So circle it in November, and 305,939 visitors. Circle it in December. What is the order of the months from the greatest to the least number of visitors? So we know that we mentioned the keyword months, so the months are going to be important. So when I stack my numbers, I need to put the months next to them. So the first one is October, and that's 350,080. Then in November, we had 350,489. And that was November. And then December had 305,939. So we need to make sure that we're labeling the month with the value so we know how to record the answer in the end. It's asking us to label from greatest to least. So when I make my comparison, I'm looking for the largest number to the smallest. So we start with the greatest place value again. So they're all the same digits, so we cross them out to say there's no difference. We move to the 10,000s, looking for the greatest. 2 of them have the 5, and the last one is a 0. So that's going to be the smallest. So I'm going to go ahead and put my December number last, knowing this is going to be the smallest. So I'm going to write the month last because it only wants a month. And then I cross it out. So I go back to my final 2. They both had a 5 in the 10,000s, so now I can cross it out. Moving to the thousands, they're both zeros. Cross them out. Moving to the hundreds, there's a 0 and a 4, so I know this is where I'm making my comparison. So knowing that I'm trying to look for my biggest number is going to be November, so I put that as number 1. My October number is going to be number 2, which meant that December was the 3rd. So now when I write my answer, I know what to write. So November comes first, comma, then we said October, comma, and then we already had the smallest value, which is the December. Moving to the back, the first problem on the top is a review from that lesson. So it says, which of the following list of numbers is in order from greatest to least? So we have to make the comparison. So we can look and we can stack numbers, or you can count how many place values they have to make those comparisons. So we're going to look at the first one. They both have into the 10,000, or they all three have into the 10,000s. So I see that they're all the same digit in the 10,000s. Looking in the thousands position, we have a 0, we have a 0, we have a 3. So it's asking from greatest to least. So the 3 should have been on the first number. So that is not the correct order. Looking at number or letter B, we're doing the same thing. Knowing the greatest place value is in the 10,000s, this greatest place is in the 10,000s, greatest place is in the 10,000s, so we can compare. So there's an 8 in all of these in the 10,000s. Then looking in the thousands, we have a 3, a 6, and a 6. So once again, it's saying greatest to least. So the 3 should not be listed first if it was our correct answer. Looking at the third example, we have in the 10,000s, in the 10,000s, in the 10,000s. They're all three going to be a 9, so we can cross out that first value. Then looking at the thousands place, we have a 0, and a 3. So once again, it should have had the largest value in the thousands in the first number, so that is not it. So we're left with 1, but we want to make sure that we have the correct answer. So all three numbers, the greatest place is in the 10,000s again. They're all of 2, so we cross out to say those are the equal value. Looking in the thousands place, we have a 0, and a 0. So they're all the same. So once again, we cross out that place value to say there's no difference. Then moving into the hundreds place, we have a 4, a 3, and a 0. The 4 is of greater value. It's showing us the correct order because it goes from 4 to 3 to 0. Letter D is going to show us the correct order. Moving down to number 4, we were reminded that we were looking for the perimeter of the rectangle, so we're going to underline our question, knowing that perimeter is the key word. Perimeter means that I'm adding up all the sides of my quadrilateral. So we're going to plug in the formula to say 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8. So I can even take this into chunks and do 2 add-ins at a time. So 6 plus 8 should give me 14, which means this is the repeat of the same add-in. So I'm going to put 14 over here as well. And then we can add both of those sums together. 14 plus 14 should give us 28. And looking at the measurement, the unit of measure is inches. So our answer should be 28 inches. We compare, and we should have C as the correct answer. Number 6, the question was, which is 680,705 written in expanded form? Remember that we're showing the exact same value, but expanded form means that we're pulling it apart like an accordion. So they have to show exactly the same value. So you can start by making it into expanded form to then make the comparison. So the greatest place value is in the 100,000, so we put the digit and show the value. So 600,000 plus 80,000 plus 700 plus 5. So when we compare, our expanded form can never push two values together of digits. So this is not going to be the correct one. 68,000 is pushing two values, so that is not the correct one. The next one is 600,000. We have that. 8,000. This is an 80,000, so that is not the right value. So the last one is 600,000. Check. 800,000 or 80,000. That's correct. 700 is correct. 5 is correct. So our only choice to show the correct expanded form is D.